Being drunk isn't fun. People's body chemistry is different. You're probably way better off not enjoying it. I agree, being drunk isn't fun. Being tipsy, however, is a blast. It completely depends on how your body processes it. For me, I get more relaxed and lose my inhibitions/silence my anxiety, and unless I get very drunk, I don't experience anything like dizziness or sickness. However, if I get stoned, I feel horrible. Heavy and exhausted and sick and paranoid. Everyone reacts to substances in different ways. Go for buzzed, not for drunk. You probably feel like you've poisoned yourself because you're literally poisoning yourself. I agree that becoming drunk is overrated. All my friends do it and they just get annoying, mean and pungent. Cheers bro, I'll drink to that. Well, that's good, at least you won't become an alcoholic. I mean, it's literal poison. Since lockdown I've found it increasingly harder to drink. My body just doesn't like it anymore. Up until 10 years ago I drank to get drunk. Then started to hate the hangover the next day. Then didn't hardly at all for 10 years, but did pick bottle of rum a few weeks ago. These days I'll have some rum on the rocks just to take the edge off after a stressful day, but limit that to weekends and when I have no other obligations. That's because people exceed their limit. Being drunk sucks, but drinking just enough to feel lighter while eating at a restaurant or hanging out with friends is amazing. Drink every day, but I don't get drunk. If I happen to get drunk, it's time to go to bed. The few times I've managed to stomach drinking, I've never enjoyed the after effects myself. Hi, I've been sober for over a year and a half now from all substances. I've tried basically every substance that I could for 5 years of my life. If people are telling you they feel euphoric on alcohol, then it's only because they haven't tried drugs that actually give euphoria. Alcohol is literally the least euphoric drug I can think of. Most governments around the world have agreed to allow alcohol even though it produces the least amount of good feelings and is the most dangerous. You are far more likely to commit violent crime while drunk than on any other substance. Look it up. If you do not feel good on alcohol, then offer to be a sober driver for the night. If you don't feel good in social settings where everyone is drinking, then you have the same problem as me. All I do is try to put myself in more daytime social settings and only hang out with 1 or 2 friends later in the day if possible. Laughs in Irish. I was asking the same question myself. As it turns out, there are a minority of people, including me, who cannot process strong alcoholic drinks. Let it be liver or whatnot, my body does not accept it, thus we skip the fun phase and go straight to hungover and feeling bad phase. I drank the same amount of alcohol like my friends, but I instantly felt like shit and the next 2 days felt like hell, vomiting and shit like that. I decided to never drink strong spirit drinks again and stick to just beer. Best decision ever. I never experienced having fun, laughing, dancing, etc. after drinking alcohol. My body just can't stand it. I can have 1 beer or even just a cider and I will spend next 12 to 24 hours throwing up, few times even blood. So I stopped drinking, and most people around me in my age say how boring person I am because I don't drink with them. People say it helps them fall asleep, but it just keeps me awake for some reason. I also have to piss every 5 minutes. It makes me feel better when I'm depressed though. My uncle drank way too much on Christmas Eve and was laying on the couch vomiting all day until 4 p.m. You probably don't do it often, but keep it that way and listen to your body. I personally have always found alcohol to be disgusting. I imagine the skull logo of poison on each bottle. I get high and eat cookies by myself like a logical individual. Additionally, not being in control of your own body or knowing what you did or said is awful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. If you don't like drinking too much alcohol, it's just for the best. First actual unpopular opinion I've seen here XD. Thank your God, you will never have a problem with this substance. Exactly. Some people get weird when they're drunk. Or is it me? I have to say I don't drink alcohol at all. Well, I enjoy it, however whenever my life is going soothingly I am quite content with enjoying my soberness, so to say. Try and enjoy this gift the gods have blessed you with, I mean it could be worse. Sounds like you're drinking more than your body can take, figure out your limits and stop before you start feeling nauseous. Correct. I sadly don't get tipsy anymore. I either feel sober or I'm drunk. I can drink most people under the table and still feel sober. The second my mouth goes numb I know that I'll be drunk in a minute or 10. A lot of the time I get a headache 15 minutes after my first beer. Been happening since I was in high school and am 25 now. You seem better off drinking for the taste rather than trying to get drunk. If someone drinks to get drunk, I would say they have a problem. I wouldn't say being drunk is fun, but it can for many help them calm down if they are stressed. I find being drunk to be more annoying than fun, even though I don't easily get dizzy or nauseous. Some people get drunk just for socialize with their friends. It is poison. I think it's gross and pointless. Don't let other people pressure you into drinking if you don't want to. There is literally zero benefit to it. Alcohol is technically poison. Could be you are allergic to alcohol. My mom and sister are allergic. If my mom has more than one glass she throws up all night. The journey is much better than the destination. I only drink on the occasion like a social gathering or a holiday. But when I do, it needs to taste good or else I won't. I used to get to the euphoria state and then balance in there for a while, but it was really easy to get smashed and after a while I just moved on. I see no point now in drinking too much or drink those horrible super alcoholic. Nowadays a slight buzz or being tipsy is fine. Having to care of 2 kids on a weekend after an evening of getting drunk is just not worth it. Ugh. Back during college when I had the entire day to myself to recuperate, then yet it was a lot of fun. I enjoy the actual act of drinking, but don't like what happens several hours later. You're not supposed to get drunk. You're supposed to get buzzed, which is relaxing and lowers inhibitions. Learn your limits. Just a bit too much and you go from feeling comfortably dizzy to having the worst night. Best results I had were with drinking a cup of water between rounds. Also, the faster you go the easier you fail to notice the turning point. Also, don't mix too many different types of drink. Last but not least, everybody is different. Might be that it's just not for you. Being shit-faced isn't fun. Being drunk, however, is super fun when in a good company, and being tipsy even without company is pure joy. Same, I just get dizzy and nauseous and usually get diarrhea too, even with minimal drinking, no fun at all. That's perfectly normal, not every person react the same to alcohol. Being buzzed is fun, but not drunk. Not to mention my shitty hangovers. I spend the next day hurling all day. There's something wrong with you. Alcohol just makes you really hot and sweaty, man. It isn't. I thought it was. Agree. Stopped drinking a few years ago mostly because it just instantly makes me tired and I feel like shit the next day no matter how much or how little I drink. You've been blessed. Accept your gift, and go get some herb. Society likes it when you are malleable and are able to be taken advantage of. Drinking isn't cool either. Probs need a line. Or you got too drunk. There is a point, after about 2 or 3 drinks, that you should stop drinking alcoholic drinks for a bit. You get a good little buzz on, feel kinda giddy and stupid. That is the euphoria stage you're talking about. With most people, they keep drinking, so that by the time they hit the euphoria stage, they have overdrank, and have had way too much booze. That's when you start getting nauseous and dizzy. And you have poisoned yourself. Alcohol is a poison. You can drink enough of it that you can die. Or your body just can't deal with alcohol, and it's better for you not to drink. That's okay too. I quit drinking when I was 22. Now 53. I still have a good time. Upvote, because this will truly be unpopular. I disagree with you wholeheartedly, but upvotes because I bet this is kind of unpopular. Alcohol, at least for my generation, was mass-marketed. Today's abundance of breweries, brew pubs, tasting rooms, wine cellars, vineyards, pop-ups, and on and on and on. It's no wonder most people gravitate toward it. Some win, some lose. I lost 35 years of my life off track with nothing but struggle to show for it. Sobriety should be the next big social movement. Put down your device of choice, pick up a tool or instrument or brush and create something for another person. That's a start. You gotta get drunk around the right folks. Everybody is different. It numbs the pain, that's all I care for. A few drinks make me both more extroverted and more relaxed. As a standoffish person, a few drinks in a social setting is a boon. Being really drunk sucks. I doubt that is an unpopular opinion. Sure it is. It's just not fun if you overdo it. If you're drinking until blackout, yeah, that's no fun, but you did that to you, if that's the case. I strongly dislike being drunk because I know it means a terrible hangover for me in the morning. Even if I just barely pass the tipsy stage and eat/drink water and sober up as much as I can before falling asleep, I spend the next day pretty debilitated and feeling nauseous. There's a threshold that goes beyond the initial euphoria and down into drunkenness. The key is maintaining that peak threshold and not going too far into the wormhole. This is easier said than done. Try spacing your drinks out with water in between. That worked when I was younger. Not only that, it gets annoying having to be that person's designated driver, even when you don't want to party or even hang out. I think it's because you are given a reason to act out whatever you are feeling deep down. Perhaps to some it's liberating to not have to care for a moment. And if you do something dumb, you can excuse yourself. Why someone want to get drunk all the time when they just gonna puke and feel like shit the next day, that goes beyond me. People must rationalize it some way. You're wrong, I'm drunk right now and it's fun as hell. Whoa. I don't think I've ever met someone who experienced it that way. But hey, you're probably better for it. There's really no good reason to drink alcohol aside from the experience. I have never been drunk, but drinking is not fun at all. I have tried to get drunk, but after 2 drinks all I have to do is pee. I'm in the bathroom every 20 minutes. I also get the nauseous feeling. And no, it's not that I'm a lightweight and I'm somehow drunk. I get zero cloudy-headedness, don't make rash decisions, still have social anxiety, and can see/walk fine. All that happens when I drink is I'm out $15 to $30 and I spend more time peeing than any human should. I used to love getting drunk, not now. The sickness is simply not worth it. Because alcohol is literal poison and you are poisoning yourself. I'd rather get baked. They said that alcohol is an acquired taste. I've been trying to get used to the taste, but I still find it bitter and gross. I'd say that's a good thing, since I'm never gonna get drunk. Most people don't experience alcohol intoxication the way you do. You are the outlier. So, you can't really use your experience as a metric to assess others. I like drinking a couple of beers but absolutely hate overdrinking. That's why I stop before reaching that condition. Same dude. I've tried it a few dozen times, in doses from a beer to 0.7 L of vodka. Never did anything for me. It makes me dizzy, uncoordinated, unconcentrated and sick. No euphoria, no sociability, no courage, no problems disappearing, no escapism, no comfort. It's just an overhyped, expensive poison. Have 1 to 2 beers. And nice big joint. Don't go overboard. I really enjoy drinking, you can just let your guard down and relax, sometimes maybe a little too much lol. The thing I struggle with is knowing my limit, because once I've had a couple I can't stop, which is annoying. I never found it to be either. But I never got to the fun phase. I just went right from being fine, to the room spinning and feeling sick. My husband is the same way. So we don't drink all that much. I also never got a runner's high no matter how much I ran. I guess it's my body chemistry. My dad was addicted to prescription drugs and my uncle is an alcoholic, maybe it was my body's way of protecting me. Being drunk is ass. But if you don't like alcohol, you also won't like any opioids, or most depressants. That poisoned feeling is how all depressants feel for me. But my noggin is so fucked up I'll still drink it occasionally. Rib. I agree, I hate the concept of that and being high. I agree completely. I've actually never been drunk before because I don't want to. I don't drink because I never found the concept of being drunk appealing in general. The idea of me not being able to maintain a normal level of control over myself always makes me uncomfortable, if that makes sense, and then the next morning I'll be a tired wreck because of it, and might not even remember in the first place. U/RAR 2021 up in here commenting like booze is the devil's own. What happened to you that you're so hardline on it? Good for you, man. For the rest of us, it triggers a stress relief, lowering of inhibitions and a small doses of euphoria. We'll chase that dragon, since you only have a few perfect nights in your life. Your opinion is nowhere close to unpopular, my guy. Thank you. It's awful and puts you at risk, and at times most in my city spend a night in jail. Then I guess being a kid isn't fun for you. Kids can't walk that good, can't talk so good, just laugh at stupid stuff and don't make much sense. See the similarity? Hell yes it is. It used to be so much fun, but something shifted over time and now I just feel overall bad, dizzy, and like I poisoned myself. Overall a super unpleasant feeling, but I get why people enjoy drinking, I used to do so myself. Too bad I can't find joy in it anymore. Weed is better. Drugs.